All of these are different worlds. Each of these worlds got their own. That right there are the ground we walking on. You see this earth in the middle of it. So the great mother represent the primordial ocean. Ancestors knew, and that would be Nut today in commit, but that's a whole other thing. Let me stay on topic. Look at the shape of the great mother. And hold on, sorry. Look at the shape of the great mother here. Now look at this. See, our ancestors knew that the great mother represent the Taurus field, and that this Taurus field has a whole bunch of planes of existence in the middle of it. So the great mother represent the primordial ocean. And in the middle of that ocean is what the Mayan called Turtle Island. This little ripple effect in the mother's belly right there. That right there are the ground we walking on. You see this earth in the middle with the continents on it, how it's horizontal, going all the way out like a ripple effect. Let me pull this up for you. Let me pull this back up for you. Because we got to be, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to be clear, because I realize how many people try to confuse this to make it look bad. So I'm going to be very thorough. Here is the flat earth, guys. All of these are different worlds. Each of these worlds got their own sun and moon. And when you go to any world from another, when you're time traveling, the reason that they call the Mayan time travelers is because the Mayan claim to have created a spiritual technology that will allow them to travel to all of these worlds the way I'm telling you. And the Mayan was so bold with it that they had a calendar that they used to do the traveling. So let's take a look at this here. When you look at this Mayan calendar, it ain't just a calendar, it's the Mayan cosmos too. Our earth is a calendar. You live on a calendar. And the word calendar is the word cylinder. Cylinder. Calendar is cylinder. Calendar, cylinder, calendar, cylinder. Each of these are calendars within calendars, or what we call long counts, short counts, but each one is a cylinder. Each one is a cylinder. And each cylinder is its own calendar. Each calendar is a calendar or a cylinder. And when you talk about calibers, you're dealing with guns, smaller calibers and larger calibers. The smaller calibers got a small little muzzle and they say pew, pew, pew. And the bigger calendars got a big muzzle and they say boo, boo, the 12 gauge, right? So the larger the caliber, the more bass, the more deeper. And we're talking about the calibers or the calendars or the cylinders, guys. And that's what the Mayan was dealing with. Each of these worlds are calibrated by diameter. So crossing the consciousness over from one to another is dealing with you tapping into a higher vibration based on the laws of calibration. Meaning that if you're in this middle part, your soul is tuned to a very high-pitched vibration. Like that little bitty gun, pew, 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 the little pea shooter, right? If you want to shift your consciousness to these outer realms, now you have to become a shotgun. Boom, boom. So it's all an arming. So that the genies said you can do this with arming. And if you wanted to go to the outer world, you got the arm with a deeper tone. And the deeper that the tone was, once you left out of the body, the further outward you were going, right? And you basically tune in your fucking mantra to whichever world you want to go to, because our windpipe gets big for the big world and it gets small for the small world. And that's why helium make you talk like a baby. And guess what? Helium go up though. The Mayan was looking at all this stuff: density, light, sound, vibration, frequency, cymatics. So if you look at this flat earth ring map and you look at this Mayan calendar, you will see that each count is exactly what my ring map is showing you. They on their own time systems. See, this would be a long count to the Mayan. The Mayan was saying, listen, we on a flat earth. And when your consciousness go to this further ring out here, They said time behaved different. And so they created this calendar so you wouldn't get lost as a time traveler. Because anytime you're a traveler, you can get lost. I don't care what kind of traveling you doing. If you just going to the Bahamas, you can get lost, man. Traveling is always a possibility to get lost. And and when you doing time traveling, you can get lost in time. And right now we are lost in time according to the ancestors. And that's why we have deja vu. The ancestors said time has already moved ahead of our consciousness in this world. We're in a trapped baby world. The fact that you can go into the future and come back here, that's time traveling. Now the question is, if I can go into the future and come back to a reality where the future ain't happened yet, do I live in a world that's in the past? We living in the motherfucking past right now. Literally. We're trapped in a matrix of time that's created by the people in power, and I'm about to prove it to you right now. The ancestors already in the future, man. We're stuck in the past reality. And sometime deja vu happened, reminding you, bro, you stuck in the past. Where do you go when you see the future? Man, you go to the future and you don't even know you in the future. Right now, if your consciousness was to shift into a future world, you wouldn't know it. You would just keep living on like a dream. But when you come back here, you'll forget that you went to the future. But when the future catches up with this place, guess what you're going to say? I saw this before. I've been here before. I smelt this before. I was feeling just like, see, when you have deja vu, it ain't just an image that you saw before and then you see it again. No, you were in the future, bro. You left this earth and came back. You literally left this realm and came back. And you went to the future. And when you went to the future, your mama was in the kitchen baking cookies, and then a little girl walked out and spilled Kool-Aid on the floor. And you smelt the cookies in the kitchen because mama was burning them a little bit, and you remember the smell of the burn. You remember how you felt when your little sister wasted Kool-Aid. But when you came back to this world right here, which is stuck in the past, and the future that you just visited, that ain't happened yet here. So when your consciousness travel back to this world, we gotta wait on that shit to happen here. And when the future catches up to this world, you say, yo, I'm having deja vu. Mama, I was in this kitchen. I smelt them burnt cookies. I knew she was gonna spill that juice, but I just couldn't catch it in time. If you were 1 second earlier, you would have been a prophet. They would have said, boy, how you knew she was gonna waste that juice? That boy got a gift. We all had the gift to travel in time. We go to the future all the time. And you know what's sad about it? The key is to get stuck there. See, that's the reason all of us are saying we want to learn how to lucid dream. We want to learn how to astral travel. We want to learn how to wake up in a dream. That when we dreaming, we know we dreaming. And guess what we're saying? When we leave this earth and we go into a future reality, we don't got to come back here. And when you don't come back here, you'll realize in that future world, there is no deja vu. The only reason you're having deja vu is because you're trapped in a world that's stuck, is late. We're in a late world. It's not really running on real time. The shit that you're doing right now already happened, but your consciousness is trapped in a world where you're perceiving the past tense version. You living inside of yesterday. Our consciousness is trapped in yesterday. We're not living in real time, is what I'm telling you. We're trying to get to real time. Now, sometimes we go into the future. Sometimes we leave this trap, but we come back, man. And the trick is, once we go into the future, we need to become lucid. You need to realize, yo, Oh shit, nigga, I'm in the future right now. If you don't become lucid when you go into the future, you're gonna come back here and have deja vu. You're gonna come back to this past world that we're in right now, that our consciousness seem to be anchored to. And when the future get here, you're gonna say, man, I was here already. Nigga, we living in yesterday. We're living in a particular world where the future already happened, but we living in the yesterday version. Put it this way. Everything you did yesterday is happening over and over again for infinity. And you can actually go back in time to yesterday. You can close your eyes like the Mayan did and go into what we call the dream space and relive everything you did yesterday. And you'll wake up today and say, yo, I was dreaming that it was yesterday. You went back in time, bro. That's what happened. We're time travelers. You can redream your 10-year-old birthday. No, you revisit it a point in time. That's what the Mayans said. That point in time still happening right now. Your consciousness just moved forward. But your consciousness ain't even as far as forward as it should be, because there's a future version of yourself that's ahead of your own consciousness. And you go into that version of yourself when you visit the future. But when you come back to this place, you forget about it because it ain't happened yet. But when that point in time catches up to this realm, again, you have deja vu, because we're trapped in a yesterday universe, a sort of a time matrix. Even the Mayans said that what I'm saying is true. Even the Mayans said what I'm saying is true. Now, hold up a minute, guys. At this time, we got to take a commercial break. And I will be right back after the commercial break. And what I'll do for y'all is leave up the chat room so we can keep on talking on the screen, and maybe